Everyone, and welcome back to my channel, the Narcissist Survivor Guide. So today we're not just talking about ourselves and all the things that we need to heal from past narcissistic abuse, but also about our children. So these little people are like little sponges as they're growing up, and they're seeing the toxic environment and having to minimize their own thoughts and feelings to accommodate the narcissist, and oftentimes they are suffering just along with you. So when you decide to leave the narcissist, they might have mixed feelings depending on their ages and stages. And of course, it's a scary time for everyone, but especially little children that already feel powerless and unsure about the future. And if they're seeing their friends with a mom and dad and this family life, they might feel sadness and worry about what will happen to them going forward. So not only do we need to focus on our own self-care, which is huge, we also need to just take care of those little people in our lives as well. And the first best way to do that is to take care of ourselves. We need to be filling our cups every day, having peers of our own that we can talk to and let them know what's going on and find support through adults, especially when the kids are not listening. So if you need to vent about something or you're crying or worrying, then you definitely want to be connecting with people after the kids have gone to bed, or making therapy appointments and seeing a professional who knows about narcissistic abuse and all that you're going through, because you have to untangle the web of lies that you've been sold all these years, untangle all of the belittling and the person that the narcissist made you out to be, even to yourself. You have to untangle all of that, figure out who you are, stabilize things like employment and finances and childcare, and the list goes on and on and on. It's not an easy task. It is a very long list, but if you had the energy and power to stay in the narcissistic relationship, then you have the energy and power to get out of one. They are constantly draining us of our energy. And so when you get away from that toxic relationship and environment, the energy that you need to rise to the occasion for all these things I've mentioned will come. You just have to be patient with yourself and give yourself time. There are days, especially early on, and even still now, I have to just give up on laundry. I have to just give up on dishes because there's so many other priorities, and we have to put our energy into things that are going to make our lives better and stronger and healthier, so that when we're healthy and strong, we can then help our children become healthy and strong as well. So I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to best support your children. And that first one was just a huge one, which is taking care of our own self-care, finding outlets to talk to people, and finding ways to strengthen our own resolve and our own being, and find out who we are as a person. So that's internal work, and I'll go into more of that in detail in other videos, but this video is focusing on tips on how to help our children navigate this separation and understanding the toxicity and moving forward. So tip number 1 is creating a safe space for your children. So giving them a loving and non-judgmental environment where they can express their feelings and that they know that they're safe and supported. They're also untangling a lot of emotional damage and hurtful words and things like that the narcissist might have used. So the best way you can support them is to just be a safe space for them to come to you with all their concerns and worries and feelings. It's normal for them to feel love for the narcissist, for them to feel even shame for losing this part of their family. And so you have to just do your best to be a safe space and not bring in your own feelings about the situation. Let them express to you how they're feeling, and do it with a listening ear rather than saying, well, you know, your dad wasn't that good anyways, or your mom always was mean to you. Just let them have their safe space to come and confide in you. Another great thing is you can empower them through journaling. If they're of the age where they can write, that's also another great safe space for them to put their feelings down and get them out of their head, and feel like they have somewhere to release those feelings and reflect. Number 2 goes along with creating a safe space, but it's active listening. So you really need to be giving your child your full attention when they're talking to you about their experiences and what they're experiencing. Validate their feelings and encourage them to share their emotions. So, man, I cannot tell you how busy. I mean, of course, you know, our brains are so busy with so many tasks to take care of when we have children, when we're coming out of abuse, when we're trying to forge a new path for ourselves and a new life. And so it can be hard to be an active listener when everything's screaming at you, right? The pile of laundry is screaming at you, the bills are screaming at you, the text messages from your ex are screaming at you, the flying monkeys are screaming at you, but you really need to just slow the world down around you. And when they're talking, you focus on their face, you try and capture every word that they're saying and let them know that they're being heard. Number 3 is to, at an age-appropriate level, educate them about narcissism. So help your child understand that the abuse wasn't their fault. Like, we don't need to go into great detail and use the word narcissism and try and paint your ex in a bad light or a bad picture, because at the end of the day, your child is part you, part your ex. And so you never want to be disparaging them or making the child feel like the ex is bad, because the child inherently knows that they're a part of that person, and you don't want them to have shame and feel bad about themselves and internalize it. So you just want to help them understand that the abuse wasn't their fault, and you, on a very basic level, teach them about narcissistic behavior. So about the gaslighting and how it affects people around the person, just so that they can better understand what they've gone through and better understand that they're not alone and it wasn't their fault. A big thing in my ex was being in competition. So he would be in competition with my 5-year-old and with my 3-year-old and with my 9-year-old. Everything was a competition, down to like wearing a piece of clothing. He'd be like, it looks better on me. And so that stuff is just the stuff that you have to sort of untangle for the child to help them understand that that's not okay. And remember how that made you feel. Like, we don't want to make other people feel that way, and that's not okay. And you love your dad very much, and we all want to be building each other up. And so you can say light things like that and just help them to untangle the behaviors that are good and remind them of good memories, so that they can have a positive, like, moving forward space with that person, even when that person is very damaging and toxic. Okay, so number 4 is encouraging self-care. So just like I'm encouraging you to have self-care and spend time journaling and building yourself up and starting to learn new hobbies that you might enjoy and just taking care of your mental, physical health, we need to teach that to our children. Oftentimes, for kids, that's such a left off part of the things that we train them up to do. But having those good habits early in life will serve them throughout their entire life. So we can teach them the importance of self-care and help them foster healthy habits like exercising and journaling and mindfulness, to help them heal and rebuild their self-esteem, and also to find new pathways to express themselves. So that could be through art, or it could be as simple as just spending time in a bath and enjoying like essential oils. Maybe that's something that they really get into and start to develop that self-care time where they spend time just on themselves, reflecting and going inward as opposed to constantly going outward. Number 5 is to seek professional help if needed. So sometimes professional therapists can help us so much in our healing process. So not every professional has dealt with narcissism, and they don't always get it. So if you can find somebody that has been through narcissistic abuse, then they can also help you make sense of and process this healing that you need to go through. So if you can't find anyone local, you can absolutely connect with someone online. A coach is a great place to start. There are coaches all over the place for all ages and stages. But I encourage you, if you can, to get a coach for yourself and even to get a coach for your children, depending on how old they are and what stage they went through this narcissistic healing process in. And if you need to get in touch with me, I'm happy to help as a coach for you. I was a child and youth counselor through my early years of life before I became a mom myself. And so going through this narcissistic abuse process and recovery and healing, I have a lot of insight that I can share, and I'm happy to do that. Number 6 is to teach boundaries and assertiveness. So a lot of times in the narcissistic abuse cycle, you're being devalued and you're being told that your worth is less, and your voice and your ability to stand in your own power and your own right to say no has always been pushed to the max, and you have not been allowed to be assertive and share or stand true to your boundaries and your needs. So we need to teach our children how to set boundaries and how to use the word no, which is the strongest word in the English language, so that they can have that self-confidence and move forward in their life by prioritizing their well-being and standing up for themselves. Number 7, I guess I'm going to continue going here. So foster a support network. So if you can find trusted friends and family to connect with, then absolutely. Or even support groups. There are local support groups as well as online support groups. I personally run a support group here in the Hamilton-Burlington area of Ontario. So if you're in Southwest Ontario and you are interested in connecting with a group, definitely check out my email down below and send me a message. But there are great resources on Facebook and other places where you can connect with people that have gone through similar situations, that have survived narcissistic abuse, and you can help to encourage one another and pull each other along through this journey, because it's not a short process. It's not an easy journey. It is worth it. I can promise you that. And rebuilding your life and having the life that you always dreamed of is worth it. You can either stay in hell or you can do the work and get out of hell. So that's it. That's everything that I have for you for today. So thanks for watching. I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and come back for more content. If you've got anything that is particularly of interest to you, just drop it down in the comments section below. I would love to hear it, and I'd be happy to make videos to address those issues as well. And like I said, if you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me below in the description box. I will leave my email address. Have a beautiful day wherever you are on this planet, and I will see you soon. Bye.